Hey everyone, it's Joe Waxman, and in this video, I want to look at the astrology transits for the California wildfires, right? That's going on right now. Uh, Pretty devastating stuff. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. And just quick reminder, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and book a reading with me. Macrogoldmachine@yahoo.com is my email address where you can reach me. So just share the screen. And so here we are. The fire started on January 7th. It's the 10th today, so they've already been raging for 3 days, but I have it set for the 7th. And so what happened? Well, right away you can quickly see. So the Mars opposite Pluto, what has been going on, and I didn't actually even mention. I totally forgot to mention that in my last update video. But Mars retrograde in Leo was opposite Pluto was I believe the aspect that was responsible for all the accidents that we were seeing. A lot of plane crashes and car crashes and things like that. A lot of accidents were occurring with that opposition. Mars representing vehicles. Some people have said Mercury represents vehicles. I don't think so. I've always seen it as Mars. It always shows up as Mars. Mercury's intellect, communication, uh, transportation in general, but vehicles, that's very much Mars, right? So the retrograde in Leo is definitely opposite Pluto because Pluto is going to bring that destructive element, especially with the opposition and retrograde, right? Um, yeah, and then when Mars um went into Cancer, then it lost dignity. Plus, it's not just that. It's not just retrograde in Cancer where it's opposite its exaltation um in fall. Um it this is especially in Vedic, there's a Vedic concept of the points where there's w water to fire, right? That can signal disaster, right? In this case, fire, but it could also be flooding. I think there's some of that as well. We've seen. I don't know if there was. I don't know. There's been so many different floods. It's difficult to separate out. But let's just stick to the fire. Uh, why fire? Why fire? Well, I think just disaster in general. Fire, water. Maybe perhaps because it was coming from a fire sign into the water sign instead of the other way around. Maybe when it goes back, we'll see a flooding around this point. But it was right at the anaretic degree, so that is very significant. Not only that, uh, moons in Aries along with Chiron North Node. North Node's at that point. North Node's about to switch into a water sign, Pisces from fire, right? But there was that mutual reception between Moon and Mars. Moon and Mars' sign, Mars and Moon's sign, which is pretty interesting, right? So again, there's that main thing being opposite Pluto and Aquarius. And what else is interesting is that Lee, if we want to talk about, like it this fire has burned to the ground houses of many celebrities and like rich people and people within the scene. And that's all very Leonine. That's Leo energy, right? And Pluto is in Aquarius, opposite Leo. So it's like Pluto really is signifying Pluto and Aquarius is signifying the downfall of the celebrity, right? We saw the golden age of Hollywood when Pluto was in Leo. Now Pluto's in Aquarius, and we're going to see that golden age, you know, maybe what would it be? The maybe the I don't know, the Iron Age, Lead Age, I don't know. It's not the golden age of Hollywood anymore. Let's put it that way. The golden age of Hollywood is pretty gone, pretty much gone, and nobody really wants to hear Hollywood celebrities' opinion about very much. At least not most people. At least that's the trend. That's where the trend is heading. I don't know about numbers, but it'll get there, right? Like, all these Hollywood celebs think that they got such a they do have a big voice, an important voice, but like more and more people are like, shut the fuck up. You're hypocritical. We don't care what you say. You're out of touch. You're millionaires and you don't understand anything about the plight of the common person. Anyway, very significant, very interesting, right? So there's that. There's that strong Aries energy with Moon and Mars, mutual reception. Mars is in very poor dignity, opposite its exaltation in Capricorn. Mars in Cancer is very violent potentially, right? Because it's Mars, which is aggression, Cancer, which is emotion. You get like, there's no control. There's a lack of self-control. It's retrograde too, and it's at the anaretic degree, and it's opposite Pluto. So that's a very dangerous combination, I'd say, for sure. And the fact that it attacked the celebrity central, Hollywood. Well, I don't know Hollywood, but LA for sure. LA in general. That's interesting. And then, I mean, just the Aries addition of all that. One more thing that's interesting to point out is the Jupiter Mercury mutual reception, right? They're not in opposition anymore by degree, but by sign. Like Jupiter's in Mercury sign, Mercury's in Jupiter sign. And that we can relate a lot to how social media, especially this past month, has really engaged itself with uh in a very direct, influential way with higher sort of ideals, Jupiterian uh, areas where laws are coming into question, especially like things like I mean Elon Musk particularly, but Twitter in general or X um, being so vocal and having that free platform, free speech platform to vocalize truths about things going on in the world, social issues, moral issues. These are all very Jupiterian, right? Not exclusively Jupiterian, but a lot of it does fall into Jupiter saying, was this right? Was that right? Was it moral? Was it just? We want justice, right? That's a very Jupiterian ideal. So there was that from social media, Gemini, Mercury, to the higher Jupiterian sort of ideals, right? Uh, Crisscrossing, mixing energies. That's what a mutual reception is. It's going back and forth, mixing, right? So yeah. Uh, the other the final point I want to make, going back and forth. I just remembered was the other thing was there was a lack of water, and which is really interesting, right? And then we could point to again Mars and Cancer retrograde, right? The water's gone because that would be much more a retrograde. When Mars goes direct again, that maybe they'll have water, right? But because Mars is retrograde, they had a fire with no water, which is, I mean, it's horrible mismanagement, right? Um, Saturn is in a water sign. I mean, I don't know if this playing into it. I don't know, but Saturn is restrictive, restricting water. Um, Interesting, right? So anyway, guys, this doesn't have to drag on for too long. Just a quick um, drop in to point those things out. That this is a dangerous, and even before, and I didn't say anything, but I thought like, oh, when Mars retrogrades into Cancer, there's probably going to be something bad that happens there, right? And yeah, so I should have said it. I should have said, oh well. All right, guys. That's it for this video. So, hope you're doing well, and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, book a reading, and I will see you again soon. All right, thanks. Bye.